Chapter 7. Connor. Connor should have kept the juvie cop's gun, but he wasn't thinking. He was so freaked out at having tranked a cop with his own weapon, he just dropped it and ran, just as he dropped his backpack on the interstate so he could carry Lev. His wallet with all his money was in that pack. Now he has nothing but his pocket lint. It's late now, or more accurately, early, almost dawn. He and Risa kept moving through the woods all day, as best they could with Connor having to carry an unconscious Tyth. Once night fell, he and Risa had taken turns keeping watch while the others slept. Connor knows that Lev can't be trusted, but that's why Connor tied him to a tree. But there's no reason to trust the girl who had come running out of a bus either. It's only their common goal of staying alive that blinds them. Just a second, I gotta let my dog in. Sorry, I just had to let my dog in. If you heard noises before, that's probably what it was. The moon has left the sky now, but there's a faint glow promising a quick arrival of dawn. By now their faces would be everywhere. Have you seen these teens? Have you seen these teens? Do not approach. Considered extremely dangerous. Call the police immediately. Funny how Connor had wasted so much time in school trying to convince people he was dangerous. But when it came down to it, he was never sure if all that danger, if he was all that dangerous at all. A danger to himself, maybe. All the while, Lev watches him. At first, the boy's eyes had been lazy and his head lolling to one side. But now those eyes are sharp. Even in the dimness of the dying fire, Connor can see them. Chilly blue, calculating. This kid is an odd bird. Connor's not sure what's going on planet Lev, and not quite sure he wants to know. That bite's gonna get infected if you don't take care of it, Lev says. Connor looks at the spot on his arm where Lev bit him. Still puffy and red. He has tuned the pain out until Lev reminded him. I'll deal with it. Lev continues to study him. Why are you being unwound? Connor doesn't like the question for a whole lot of reasons. You mean, why was I being unwound? Because as you can see, I'm not being unwound anymore. I'm not on a table having my limbs ripped off. Now am I, Lev? He didn't actually say that, but a little bit of improv there. They will if they catch you. Connor feels like punching that smug look off of the kid's face, but he restrains himself. He didn't rescue the kid just to beat him up. Well, what is he gonna do? He's tied to a tree. You should have just done it, Connor. So what's it like? Connor asks. Knowing all your life you're gonna be sacrificed. He meant it as a jab, but Lev takes the question seriously. Hey, I said sacrifice. That's my idea. Connor stole it. It's better than going through life without knowing your purpose. Connor not sure if that was intentionally meant to make him squirm, as if his life has no purpose. It makes him feel like he's the one tied to a tree, not Lev. I guess it could be worse, says Connor. We could have all ended up like Humphrey Dunphy. Lev seems surprised by the mention of that name. You know the story. I thought they only told it in my neighborhood. Nah, says Connor. They tell it everywhere. It's made up, says Risa, having just woken up. Maybe, says Connor. But there was this one time a friend and I tried to find out about it while surfing one of the school's computers. We hit this one website that talked about it and how his parents went all psycho. Then the computer crashed. Turns out we were hit by a virus that wiped out the entire district server. Coincidence? I don't think so. Also, fluoride in the water, turning the frogs gay. Connor's a conspiracy theorist now. More improv there. Lev's taken in. But Risa, fairly disgusted, says, well, I'll never end up like Humphrey Dunphy. Because you have to have parents for them to go psycho, and I don't. She's bragging about that, but really she's just an orphan. She stands up. Connor looks away from the dying fire to see that Dawn has arrived. If we're going to keep from being caught, then we should change direction again, Risa says. We should also think about disguising ourselves. Like how? Connor says. I don't know. Change our clothes first. Haircuts, maybe. They'll be looking for 2 boys and a girl. Maybe I can disguise myself as a boy. Connor takes a good look at her and smiles. Risa's pretty. Ooh. Connor has a question. Risa and Connor sitting in a tree. Kissing. That also wasn't in the book, in case you couldn't tell. Not in the way Ariana was pretty. In a better way. Ariana's prettiness was all about the makeup and pigment injections and stuff. Risa was a natural kind of beauty. Without thinking, Connor reaches out to touch her hair and gently says, I don't think you could ever pass for a guy. Weirdly stroking her hair. Then, suddenly, he finds his hand tugged behind him. His whole body spins around, and as she painfully wrenches his arm up the small of his back, it hurts so much he can't even say, ouch. All he can say is, hey, 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 hey. Suddenly, he's Canadian. Touch me again like that, and your arm gets ripped off, Risa tells him. Got that? Risa gets all deep when she hurts people. Or her voice gets all deep. Fine. Hands off. Got it. Over at the oak tree, Lev laughs. That's what Lev's laughs sound like. Apparently pleased to see Connor in pain. You see what I mean? Lev is the messed up one. I said that before. When he was talking about getting all crazy. Lev is messed up. She lets him go, but his shoulder still throbs. You didn't have to do that, Connor says, trying not to show how much it still hurts. It's not like I was gonna hurt you or anything. Yeah, well, now you won't, alright. It's not like I was gonna hurt you or anything. Yeah, well, now you won't, for sure, says Risa, maybe sounding a bit guilty for being too harsh. Don't forget I lived in a state home. Connor nods. He knows about Staho kids. They have to learn to take care of themselves real young, or their lives are not very pleasant. He should have realized this. She was a touch-me-not. Excuse me, says Lev, but we can't go anywhere if I'm tied to a tree. Still, Connor doesn't like that judgmental look in Lev's eyes. How do we know you won't run? You don't. But until you untie me, I'm a hostage, Lev says. Once I'm free, I'm a fugitive, like you. Tied up, I'm the enemy. Cut loose, I'm a friend. If you don't run, says Connor. Risa impatiently begins untying the vines. Unless we want to leave him here, we'll have to take that chance. Connor kneels to help, and in a few moments, Lev is free. He stands and stretches, rubbing his shoulder where the tranq bullet hit him. Lev's eyes are still blue ice and hard for Connor to read, but he's not running. Maybe, thinks Connor, he's over the duty of being tithed. Maybe he's finally starting to see the sense of staying alive. That was chapter 7. And I'm gonna say what chapter that was after every time, 'cause I've already done it for 7 chapters.